Welcome to this explainer. Look, I want you to pull up a chair, grab a coffee, and just take a deep breath. You've already decided to go to law school, and first off, seriously, congratulations. That is a massive accomplishment. But if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, maybe even wondering what you signed up for, I want you to treat me as your supportive mentor. Picture me sitting right across from you. Together, we're going to decode the next 3 years using this survival blueprint. We're going to break down the actual real-world things most students wish someone had told them before they ever stepped foot on campus for their first day. So, did you look at your 1L syllabus and completely panic? Because let's be honest, almost everybody does. You see this sheer impossible volume of reading assignments. You hear all those terrifying whispers about the infamous grading curve and, yeah, the anxiety sets in. I want to acknowledge that anxiety right now. It is completely valid. The workload is heavy. But you really need to remember something absolutely fundamental. You've already made it here. You have the chops to do this. Now, it's really just about learning how the game is actually played, and we're gonna break it all down together. Here's a crucial point to internalize before we even get into the mechanics. Everyone is way more confused than they appear. So many students spend their entire first year absolutely convinced that they're somehow uniquely falling behind. But the reality? Most of your classmates are secretly feeling the exact same way. They are just as lost as you might feel. So when you look around that intimidating lecture hall and see everyone furiously typing and nodding like they're brilliant legal scholars, don't let it intimidate you. Honestly, it's mostly just a performance. Section 1. Learning the foreign language. Here is a hard truth about law school. For the first few months, your professors are going to use words that make absolutely no sense to you. It's literally going to feel like you're trying to learn a completely different language. Take the word dicta, for example. It's just a remark and a legal opinion that isn't necessary to the actual decision, meaning it isn't binding precedent. Simple enough once you know it, right? But words like dicta, holding, standard of review, and issue spotting, they're going to sound like total gibberish at first. You'll feel like everyone else gets it while you don't. That is entirely normal. Don't panic. Through sheer exposure, it's all going to become second nature to you. And speaking of language, we need to talk about the massive shock to your system that is the jump from college writing to legal writing. Listen, you might have been an excellent straight-A writer in undergrad, but legal writing, it will humble you. Because law school does not care at all about flowery prose or creative tangents. Nope, law school strictly rewards precision, structure, and providing absolutely ironclad support for every single assertion you make. It's a completely new, highly structured formula that you're going to have to master. Section 2. Studying smarter, not harder. Let's debunk the absolute biggest myth of your 1L year and figure out how to actually tackle all that reading without totally losing your mind. A lot of incoming students believe this crazy myth that successful law students read every single assigned page with equal intense attention. I'm telling you right now, they absolutely do not. The reality is that successful students learn to just find the rule. Your goal is understanding the point of the case, not memorizing every single word the judge decided to write down. Every single time you sit down to read a case, you are looking for exactly 4 things. That's it, just 4. 1, the facts of what actually happened. 2, the legal rule being applied. 3, the reasoning the court used to get there. And 4, the ultimate holding, or the final decision. Honestly, just strip away all the fluff and extract those 4 pillars. I really have to issue a massive warning here. Briefing cases forever is a trap. Case briefing is a great learning tool for the very beginning of the semester, but it is not a lifelong career. Way too many students spend hours and hours creating these beautifully color-coded case briefs that they will literally never look at again. Over time, you've got to trust yourself to develop a much faster system. Because in law school, your time is your single most valuable asset. Why is your time so precious? Well, because as the classic saying goes, the final exam is the course. In many of your classes, the entire semester, every single reading, every lecture, every terrifying cold call, it's all just preparation for one single time-pressured exam at the very end of the year. So you've got to focus way less on memorizing cases from October and focus way more on learning how to analyze brand new fact patterns under severe time pressure in December. Okay, let me let you in on a few exam secrets that nobody tells you. First up, your outlines matter so much more than your daily notes. Actually, the very process of synthesizing your messy notes into a clean outline, that's your actual roadmap to learning. Second, professors are literally giving away exam answers all semester long. When a professor repeats a concept 3 times or throws out some wild, crazy hypothetical in class, pay attention, write it down. That's almost guaranteed to be on the test.
And finally, the smartest student in the room doesn't always get the best grades. Law school exams deeply reward clear organization and issue spotting. Solid exam technique will beat raw intelligence almost every time.
Section 3, protecting your peace. If you want to survive and actually thrive in law school, you have to manage your mindset. You have to actively protect your mental health so you don't completely burn out before Thanksgiving. There is this incredibly toxic myth going around that you must study every waking hour to succeed. The reality? You desperately need a life outside of law school. Students who study nonstop don't get better grades, they just burn out. Maintaining your friendships, keeping up with your hobbies, actually exercising, and spending time with your family, those things will improve your academic performance far more than endless, exhausted reading. You need to actively guard your time like a hawk. During those first few weeks, every single club on campus is going to try to convince you that their activities are absolutely essential for your resume. I promise you, they are not. Join fewer organizations than you think you should. Pick just a couple that genuinely interest you. And critically, you have to avoid the comparison trap. There is always going to be someone with a seemingly better internship or a higher grade or a more impressive resume. Comparing yourself is exhausting, and it is totally useless. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Section 4, building your legal career. It's time for a massive mindset shift regarding your future. Law school is a professional school, not just an academic program. You really need to internalize this right now. The biggest shift you can make today is to stop approaching this as just 3 more years of classes. No, approach this as the very beginning of your legal career. Every interaction, every professor you meet, every single assignment, it is all actively building the lawyer you are going to become. The students who truly get the most out of law school, they go way beyond the books. Your real goals here are to build a network, seek out mentors, gain practical, hands-on experience, and learn how the profession actually works in the real world. Think about it. Law school teaches you analysis. You could graduate knowing constitutional law absolutely perfectly, but have no clue how to actually draft a basic contract or take a deposition. You have to actively go out and seek that practical experience yourself. And that naturally brings us to how you view the people sitting next to you every day. Yes, the grading curve creates this artificial, super stressful competition. But you have to shift your mindset from seeing your classmates as competition to seeing them as your future colleagues. 20 years from now, the people in your 1L section, they're going to be judges, law firm partners, public defenders, and they're going to be your absolute best referral sources. So invest in those relationships now. Treat law school like a community, not a 3-year cutthroat contest. Let's look at the actual career building blocks you should focus on. First, your summer jobs matter heavily, sometimes even more than your individual grades because employers desperately want to see that you have practical experience. Second, be strategic about your classes. Choose electives that are either tested on the bar exam, provide foundational skills, or align perfectly with your specific career goals. Third, and I can't stress this enough, go to office hours. They are wildly underutilized, and professors can provide you with incredible, life-changing career guidance. And finally, always remember that the legal world is a very small community. Your professional reputation, it starts right now, today. Be prepared and always treat people with respect. Section 5, your mentor's final secret. We've covered a ton of ground today, but this last point might literally be the most important piece of advice of all. The absolutely crucial thing to take away today is that you do not have to figure this out alone. You need a solid support system. That's why I warmly invite you to join our community at www.school.com/lawschool. The Law School Advantage community is specifically there to give you ongoing resources, access to great outlines, and steadfast, real support throughout your entire law school experience. Look, you need to surround yourself with people who actively want to see you succeed. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. What kind of lawyer will you start building today? You've got the blueprint now. You know exactly what traps to avoid, and you know exactly where to focus your energy for the biggest impact. So I want you to take a deep breath, step onto that campus with absolute confidence, and begin crafting your professional legacy. You are going to be amazing. You've got this.